Welcome, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to this beautiful studio and welcome to Olga Zakinova podcast. Dr. Frida, I just can't see you calling you any other way but Dr. Frida. I feel that name fits you so well.
Thank you.
And everyone, I just want you guys all to meet Dr. Frida. She's a holistic doctor. So let's show them what you made of, Dr. Frida.
Thank you. I would love to answer people's questions, help them
Yes.
out in their health journey, and just be of service.
So, Dr. Frida, where the passion came from to even start this journey?
And my son, he had asthma. I remember coming to his pediatrician, who is an amazing pediatrician, by the way. She kind of looked at me oddly. She said, "Oh, those things don't work. Don't believe in those things. Just keep him on, keep him on the Pulmicort." So I simply said, "Okay," and I went home and just did my own thing. It was a long journey. It was not overnight, and this is what I always tell my own clients that, listen, this is not a fast fix. But then with time, I saw that it was gone, and my child was,
Feeling better.
feeling better. He was in the clear. He was thriving. And I said, wow, okay, this is the way. And that I was already in medicine. I was already in dental, right? And I said, I have to go this path and I have to figure out the entire body. Because when I was taking my classes in dental school, I saw how beautiful the body was. When everybody else just wanted to focus on the dental classes, I was more interested in medical courses, right?
Mhm.
I was interested in both. I love dentistry, but I was interested in the pathophysiology, in histology, in microbiology, and everybody thought I was crazy. Oh, why do you like these courses? Why do you like the biochemistry? And I felt pulled because it finally clicked in my head how things actually work.
Work in the body.
Yes, how amazing the body is. And when I took anatomy and physiology, forget it. I was shocked. That is when my faith in God grew, when I actually went into the body and I saw how beautiful
The
the
gift.
body is,
The-
how every single artery was followed by a nerve, and how everything was put into the right place for it to fit perfectly, like how the heart was leaning a certain way so that it can fit, and how one lung is bigger than the other lung so that way the heart can fit in between the two. I mean, it's just so beautiful.
So it's an art.
It really is. I mean, there has to be a creator, right? To have something that beautiful, there has to be someone that created it. It couldn't just come out of nowhere. And that faith in God just grew. And I realized that, listen, if something this magical could exist, it could heal itself. And then I started doing more research and more searches, and I started getting more and more into it. I figured out a way to get my PhD while doing dentistry as well. But I am so busy doing wellness and helping people that I don't know what they will do without me.
And one of the best parts about Dr. Frida is that you ask for their blood work.
Yes.
And I've seen in and out how many times you've been telling people, give me your blood work, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on with you.
People don't understand, they go to a pharmacy and they buy things. First of all, they're synthetic. No, they're not pure at all. They'll go to a pharmacy, they'll go to, Amazon, they'll purchase things, and then it'll say take 2 capsules and people follow that. And then they say, why isn't it helping me?
Mm.
Well, first of all, even if it is synthetic, it should help. It's just putting a lot of pressure on your liver and kidneys. But the reason it's not helping you is because you don't have the proper guidance. You need to know how much to take of it so it does help you. You need to know what kind of flood to give your body, what to do, what not to do, and you can only get that under the guidance of a practitioner, right? It's not readily available out there. You can't even get that off of ChatGPT because ChatGPT, a lot of people go on there and they're like, okay, it'll make my whole life change, whatever. But ChatGPT makes so many mistakes, guys. Be very careful.
What are your top few supplements that you recommend that people should take?
Most people definitely need magnesium.
Mm.
When I say most, I'm saying like almost all people.
Why?
Even though when your blood work comes back and it says that you are at the perfect amount, because that blood work is not accurate. That magnesium is not accurate. You need magnesium for over 300 different processes in your body. You're using magnesium so much when you stress, when you're trying to, when you're working out, when you're, even right now, we're speaking, we're using up magnesium in our body, thinking, collaborating. All of that is a lot of magnesium usage. So magnesium is definitely an important supplement that I would say I think everybody should be on.
How many pills a day?
So it depends on the person, right? It depends on the age. It depends on this is why and it also depends on what you're taking. So the magnesium that I love to use, it is amazing in which way? It actually has taurine in it.
Mm.
Taurine is amazing in what way that it allows the cells to absorb the magnesium.
Mhm.
And when it allows the cells to absorb the magnesium, the person doesn't need to take as much because usually magnesium, when people take it, their body uses what it needs at that moment and then the body releases the rest. And which is why people say that it helps them with using the bathroom. So people use the bathroom, the magnesium is kind of going in and it's coming right out. The body is not absorbing it.
How often a person should do the blood work?
I would say the best thing to do is do it every 6 months. If
Mhm.
you are struggling with, pre-diabetes or you do have diabetes, then at least every 3 months. And usually I have my clients, somebody that comes to me with autoimmune disease, for example, and I'm trying to help them heal themselves. We usually do about every 3-month evaluation because it takes 90 days for the body to really reset itself. So I give them enough for about 3 months and then we reevaluate in 3 months. And what I generally ask them to do is get more blood work and then we'll reevaluate from there.
So, what would be your take on recommendation for detox, and what do you offer as a detox product?
So, what are we really detoxing? That has to be the first question, right? We're detoxing your organs, your blood, right? Your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is, I don't know how well versed you are in medicine, but your lymphatic system is the sewer system of your body. It holds on to everything,
Mhm.
right? So, we're detoxing that. We're detoxing your liver. Your liver is your big brother organ. The liver stores, it hoards all of these things in there, like plastics, toxins and it stores them in these stones, okay, that are called they're hepatostones, right?
Mhm.
And these stones, they have all of these viruses in them, all these toxins in them, and they get stored inside the liver.
Mhm.
And we cannot see it when we do a sonogram or even an MRI. We cannot see those stones because they're not calcified. They don't have calcium in them. The only time that you can see something like clearly like that is if it has calcium in it, it shows up as white. It shows up as a different color, right? So if it's not showing up because it doesn't have calcium, it cannot show up. And people say, oh, you have a fatty liver, which
Mm.
means your liver is enlarged.
Mhm.
Why is it enlarged? It's hoarding these stones. That's why
Mhm.
it's enlarged in there. We are a different generation. We are people with educations, right? We are people that see things differently. We should start taking care of ourselves. We should not be our mothers. We should not be our grandmothers. We should start taking care of ourselves now. Take that multivitamin before your hair falls out. Take that magnesium instead of, waiting years with a foggy mind and anxiety and then taking a Xanax for it. Take care of yourself. And what is our biggest thing in dentistry? Preventative, 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 preventative. We always want to prevent everything, which is why you have those 6-month visits, which is why you have those cleanings, right? Which is why you floss every night. We care about preventing a possible disease in the future. And that is what I'm trying to bring into not just dentistry, but health all around.
Have you had any women that came to you that are breastfeeding, for example,
Of course.
mothers of multiple children? And now, what happens during the breastfeeding process?
During the breastfeeding process, and I'm feeling it on myself right now because I do have a baby, right? I am breastfeeding at the moment. You feel, first of all, you can't detox the same way, but you feel like you need more support.
Mhm.
And women are not supporting themselves. In our community, women are having 4 or 5 kids. They're not taking, and I speak to them. I say, what are you doing for yourself? What are you taking for yourself? Oh, no, no, just give me everything for my kids. I'll take care of myself like last. I'll come back when all my kids are doing well. How are you pouring from an empty cup? You know, your cup needs to be full for you to be able to pour. And you know what? I don't think it's selfish at all. When women come to me, I say, listen, they come to me first for themselves. And then sometimes, and then they say, oh, okay, but my family also needs, I said, don't worry about your family. Start with yourself. Be consistent. Because if you take everything for your family right now, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to not know how to take care of yourself and run after your kids to take this, take that after your husband. Figure out how to do it properly for you. Become the healer in your family. Every
Beautiful.
woman is the healer in their family,
Beautiful.
right? And then you can start taking care of everybody else. Because if you don't feel good and you're trying to do all of this at once, then how are you going to take care of, your 5-year-old son, your 2-year-old baby that's screaming that they don't want to take it? You have to feel great and then you can take care of everything else. Listen, there are men that are more involved in health than women. There are some, very rarely.
Like
Very
Jack.
rarely. Yes. Well, I mean, Jack was not actually. I had to bring him into natural medicine. He
Mm.
he was not about it at all. He was actually fighting with me about spending money on natural medicine in the beginning because we were spending a ton of money. We were spending like $2,000 a month to keep my son healthy.
Wow.
And we were broke, Olga. When I tell you we were broke, we had nothing. We were living in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
Okay,
How long you guys married?
We've been married for 11 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So when I tell you that, he was not for it, no, but I showed him that there are results. I always laugh about this, how first the wife comes to me and then the husband comes to me for seconds, and then they come to me and I said, oh, why'd you come now? Like, you were against this. You didn't want your wife to buy this. I remember her fighting with you. He said, but it
But you
works.
helped.
It works.
But
I
you
saw
helped
it work. Now that I saw it work, I'll come.
Earlier, I asked you, Dr. Frida, how do you feel about people that take red wine? It's like a very common thing to have. Like after a long day, you reward yourself with wine.
Is it a cup? Is it a glass? Or is it a bottle? That's the question. A glass I'm okay with. When people usually drink every day, they don't just stick to a glass. That's the truth.
It
becomes a habit, and one glass becomes too little. They want more. I would say, just for the sake of your body, alcohol is not the worst thing you can take, right? But just for the sake of your body, for the sake of your liver, and not putting that excess stress on it, then just try to do it more minimally, maybe once a week to reward yourself instead of every single day. Beer is a different story. Beer has a lot of yeast in it. A lot of people are suffering with candida in our society. Candida is a fungus, right? And a lot of people have candida, and that beer, it feeds it. Because it grows more and more. Beer has lots of sugars, lots of yeast. So definitely better to stay away from beer on a daily.
Does men have menopause?
I think they go through something for sure. For sure, Olga, because you know what?
You were married to an angel, and then out of nowhere, in the middle of his life, you're like, who are you?
They don't have that influx of like that hormonal change like we do, obviously. But they do have that, that their mentality changes at some point. They're looking
What's causing it?
What's causing it is, I would say, in that sense, maybe the question of reflection, like the reflection they're having at that age, right? Of what is my life for? What kind of purpose do I have? And I know you know how that feels. I know how that feels. And I think at some point in life, people hit that. And that's kind of in their midlife. Yes.
Breaking point.
Because now they've done the right thing. Right. They've
overwhelmed.
Right. They've gone to school. They've had the kids. They got married. And now what's next? Okay, I made the money. Like, what's next? What am I doing with my life? What is this all for? What am I going back to work for tomorrow? What is this all for? People start having those questions like, did I see everything? Did I have everything I want in my life? I think that's what really goes through with men. With women, it's different. It's a big change in hormones. And, sometimes men will not understand that because they don't go through it. Women start fluctuating in their hormones. Usually, normally it's around the age of 45, right? The hormone fluctuation comes in.
What are the symptoms?
Hot flashes, just general discomfort, anxiety, possibly like angry, those kinds of things happen. They start having fatigue. They start feeling a different way. So that, I would say, is perimenopause. Right? And they go through that for about possibly 10 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And then menopause hits when there's a whole year of not getting your period. So that's when it's menopause.
Wow.
Considered menopause. So, and some people stay in postmenopause for a while too. So what I actually do is I use herbs, something like black cohosh, something like maca, to help put you back into the right place. Because those hormonal changes, they don't have to be as harsh. We can help control them with the proper herbs and supplements. Yeah.
What other habits do you incorporate into your clients' lives? Exercise, meditation, breathing, yoga?
Definitely teach them a lot about breathing, especially my anxious clients.
Walking 5 miles a day.
Walking is important.
10,000 steps.
I love walking. My husband sometimes gets so annoyed. Jackie, I'm always like, babe, let's go take a walk in the mornings or at nights. Always take a walk about 2 hours. We walk for 2 hours nonstop.
A day?
A day, yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes in the mornings, if we don't have time, then I force him to go out.
So the goal, 2 hours, is to what? To run the miles or to do the steps?
We do the steps, but not only that, it gives us time to collaborate, gives us time to talk. And a lot of people think that a date night should be, going out to dinner, doing all, but sometimes we'll just make ourselves some tea at home and we'll take a walk, or we'll go pick up some tea somewhere and walk and just talk. You just
Quality
have to,
time.
exactly. That's our quality time. So we are made with so many trillions of bacteria. Not only bacteria, we have parasites, we have fungus in our body, the candida that we were talking about, right? There is so much in our body. We live with more microbes than our own cells. That's what I can tell you. And when you change, when you shift that, when you detox, when you eat well, when you meditate and you change your entire physiology, your biochemistry, then everything changes. The way you look at the world changes. What you see changes. The way you feel changes. You become a different person. It really is possible to become a different you.
Of
That,
course.
that's why you see, I don't know if you look on Instagram, but people will show like what they were and what they became.
Yes,
Right? And you could see that shift as if it's a different person entirely.
absolutely. I really try to stay away from red meat. I don't know how you feel about red meat in general.
So I don't think that red meat is a problem. I
Mm.
think that a lot of people, I don't know about anybody else that's watching, but red meat has been shown to be healing for people as long as it's grass fed, it's hormone free, without antibiotics. A lot of people actually heal themselves with a carnivore diet.
Mm.
So am I against red meat? No, I cannot say, but every person's body reacts differently to different things. You just have to figure out what fits you. I always talk about eating intuitively. Like for me, for example, I'm not a big fan of eating red meat myself because it just doesn't feel good afterwards. But
Mhm.
I know people, they live off of red meat and they feel amazing,
Mm.
So I like to eat intuitively. I like to eat what makes me feel good. For example, if I touch like white bread, I feel brain fog, so I won't touch it.
Mm.
As opposed to maybe eating some sourdough, I feel okay. So really every person just needs to eat and actually pay attention to what their
How they
body
feel
is
after.
feeling. Exactly. And when your body feels good, remember the quantity of food you eat will determine how you look, but the quality of food you eat will determine how you feel. So you really just have to see what you're feeling when you're eating the food.
So, do you think overeating on fish could also cause some sort of a negative effect on the body?
Yes. So fish is, especially tuna.
Mm.
Tuna has a lot of mercury in it.
Mhm.
And mercury is definitely very detrimental to your health. So, what I would say is if you really love fish, try to focus on the smaller fish. Eat the smaller fish. When you eat the smaller fish, not only do they have omegas in them,
Mhm.
but they also have less mercury.
Mhm.
So, sardines are amazing. You know,
Although they are in the oil.
don't eat the ones in oil. No, I get the ones that are in water and
Mhm.
I pour a little bit of my own olive oil over it. You drain the water and you pour your own extra virgin olive oil because no matter what kind of olive oil, no matter that it says that, oh, it's olive oil, it's probably a really refined one and it's not good for you.
Do you think that food could substitute supplements?
So in our generation, no, I do not think it could. And the reason is because our food is not like our soils are not replenished enough for the food to have enough minerals in them. And our water, it doesn't have any magnesium in it like it used to. It's being filtered out too much because there are a lot of pharmaceuticals and toxins in the water. So it's being filtered out where there is no magnesium left in the water like there used to be.
Mm.
So therefore, no, our food is not enough. We do still need to supplement.
Do you see a lot of diseases in today's world that could be potentially worked on through natural homeopathic
Oh, yeah.
medicine?
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless it's you're deteriorated to the point that there's just no return,
Mm.
virtually anything,
Mhm.
virtually anything. Something that I steer very, very clear of is if you're already in the end stage of renal disease,
Mm.
it's very hard to give you anything to really make you feel good because your kidneys are so messed up and they're your filtration system, right? Um, Also, if somebody, it has to be really, really
You
bad
want to
for me
talk
to
about
stay away.
diabetic? Like stage two diabetic? Is it reversible?
Yes.
How?
Yes. So we first of all clean up the diet. I tell them what they can and cannot eat. Second of all, I give them supplements. I give them mainly herbs that they can take. And these herbs, you don't understand what they do, Olga. They clean out the body. First, we focus on different parts, right? We focus on detoxing. If you are having diabetes, a lot of it stems from the liver because the
Mhm.
liver is what is protecting your pancreas all this time, is helping and supporting your pancreas. So if you are having diabetes, it's because your liver is not doing well. So we go straight for the liver. We help to detox it. We remove everything from your lymphatic system. We help to clean it out. And little by little, you start seeing improvements. You know,
Mhm.
within 3 months, people go and get reevaluated. Their A1C falls. Meanwhile, they're taking 4 or 5 different medications, and their A1C is even higher. We definitely work on that. Once the body is clean, the body can be a miracle.
I told you, right, that my husband tried
The vegan
vegan
diet.
diet. And when he started to do vegan diet, we hired a personal coach who was guiding him through special systems, how to start. And he was very ambitious when he started, very, very ambitious. But I think that throughout the whole process, I think what I noticed about my husband, he's not good with changes. Like I could make changes very quickly. Sometimes I'm even joking with my mom, like, how can I be married to this man for over 30 years? Like I need to change things all the time.
I did too. I need constant change.
Change. Like I need rapid change all the time. This is why I'm so like into personal growth, development, like execution, like learning, and then execution. Like I'm like in constant movement, right? My husband is very, very different. And so when he started this vegan diet, I was so passionate. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, let's do this. I'll do this with you. I'll be your biggest cheerleader.
Supporter.
I'll be your biggest supporter. We're gonna cook at home more. Like, stop going out. Maybe do less of it. Maybe we'll just watch what we eat. And I started to like post like, who knows, like vegan restaurants. Like I started to dive deeper into like different lifestyle. And I started to see the difference in my husband's life. And there was a task of like taking screenshots of the food he eats and taking picture of his body. And I was like, wow, wow, this is a miracle. Like I just started to see that transformation. But then he failed. And we are trying to go back
Get
slowly
back on that.
back to on. But I have to tell you one thing. It is very, very important for every person to have someone, either a cheerleader or a mentor or someone who's going to keep them accountable or a coach. I know coaches nowadays cost a lot.
I had a lot of mentors in my life, a lot of people that coached me. I mean, I would never be where I am if I didn't have the people that know what they're doing and know how to guide me in the right place. I still have mentors all the time.
Absolutely.
If you have one person behind you and supporting you, one person that's your cheerleader, you can achieve anything.
Before we wrap up, I want you to talk about your product that you designed and created to help people as they're going through hard times in life. You want to mention ImmunoAid?
Yeah, the ImmunoAid, I mean, you took it, right? It's
Yes.
it's right here for whoever doesn't see it. So the ImmunoAid is my own proprietary blend. And what it was designed for, I really want to put it into every single home because what it was designed for is to keep people healthy. Actually, I have a story for you. My mom came to New York to my sister's home, and she came to visit, and she got sick somehow. And my sister started panicking because she has 6 people living with her, plus my parents now. They came to visit, and she's like, everybody's going to get sick. And she was just
Panicking.
worried, you know? She said, what am I going to do? I said, don't worry. And it had just been her birthday, and I gave her a big ImmunoAid as a gift, a 32 ounce. That's a 16 ounce. I gave her a 32 ounce. I said, you have the ImmunoAid in your fridge. She said, yes. I said, give it to everybody. And everyone took it except her husband, who was stubborn, you know, as men are. He said, I'm fine. I'll be fine. And nobody got anything except for him.
Mhm.
He was the only one that got something. And she gave it to him. The next day, he was fine.
What's in it?
There's a lot of things in there. There's herbs and there's mushrooms in there that boost the immune system. They clean out the blood. They clean out the lymphatic system. They also clean out the liver. They kill toxins. It's like going and just shooting up all the viruses and bacteria that's in the body right
Wow.
away without even letting them grow, without letting them replicate.
Wow.
So as soon as that comes in, that infection, if you take it right away and don't allow that virus to replicate, it will be gone
Mm.
within minutes.
How do you manage allergies?
So it's really about toxins in our body. Everything that we respond to, everything that happens in our body is all about the toxins. So what do I do with allergies? We remove toxins. We desensitize you to things that usually people are sensitive to.
Mhm.
We help to drain everything, all these toxins through your lymphatic system and through, your extracellular matrix, through all of the fluids in your body, and you feel better. You feel great. Also, something else that I love to give for allergies is the ImmunoAid. The ImmunoAid together with the allergy detox is amazing because again, like I said, this cleans out the liver, it cleans out the blood, it cleans out the lymphatic system as well. And it's a very, very potent and it's very fast. So when they are taken together, it works wonders. People tell me that they have the worst allergies this year and they are taking everything, Benadryl, Zyrtec. They're going to get allergy shots. They're going to their doctors for allergy and asthma and nothing is helping. And then they come to me and whatever I give them, the allergy detox together with the ImmunoAid, they're feeling better within 24 hours.
If you choose to, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Dr. Frida and Jack will read them, respond to you. And the best part is to get Dr. Frida, follow you on WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah, follow me on WhatsApp or if it's easier for you on Instagram. Some people, they don't like to be in the chat because they get overwhelmed. They
Right.
cannot handle it. So if it makes it easier for you, you can also follow me on Instagram. My handle is Dr. Frida Wellness. Follow me on Instagram. You can also contact me there. I'm pretty quick at replying and we can go from there.
Thank you all for watching. I'm super excited. This was just a continuation of everything that we are doing for us, for our families, and our communities. And like I said, I'm so grateful for you guys to just take your time to sit down and watch. Thanks a lot, and until next time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Olga, for having me here.
Thank you.